So, Renaissance Man Trends Change. Just a quick video before I start the day. I always say in my videos that essentially I don't look to be monetized on this, and I don't ever expect to be monetized from this. I have a lot of views that really simply don't go with what YouTube is comfortable with, but I really don't care. I have the freedom to be able to express what I wish to express, and that is what this channel is about. It's freedom to express point of views, and people, whether or not they like me or not, they can say what they want. I'm not too worried if they're critical of me. Again, that is their right. If people insult me, they have the right to offend. It's as simple as that. You cannot have free speech without the ability to offend someone. So essentially, those people who do criticize me, I have the right to respond in kind and say and call them trolls or whatever it is. We have that right. That is the essential fundamental right of free speech and where it goes. Obviously, there are consequences to what people say. If somebody threatens that they are going to kill me, for example, there are consequences of which I take legal action, and they will be questioned on why they are threatening to kill me, why they are threatening my physical health. But that is another story. But if someone wants to call me names or whatever it is in the comments below, they essentially have that right. You cannot be forced to like everybody or say nice things about everybody all the time, which coincidentally is part of what this video is about. The governments and the various systems and organizations seem very, very focused on the premise that wouldn't it be nice if everybody was nice. And indeed, we know the human condition is not geared towards that. Not everybody will get on with everybody else. It comes down to different beliefs, different ideologies, different morals. Some people are more moralistically higher than others, some less so, which is life. And I'm not just talking about morals being better than others. I mean that people live with different moral codes, people live with different ideals, and quite honestly, you can't inflict those ideals on other people when they don't agree or it's incompatible with how they live. But our government seems very determined to control thought, to control ideas, and to control what we say whenever they possibly can. For example, in January there will be in place a law which will allow people, and this is absolutely true, people to be fined £5 for swearing in public if the police catch them. No word of a lie. People using obscenities now in this day and age. I try not to use obscenities. I don't really use them. I try not to. I work in the security industry, and sometimes you do. I have been known to let an occasional F-bomb fly, but it comes down to the fact that our speech, despite what Keir Starmer has said in the Oval Office with the American president in front of JD Vance, saying we have a proud history of free speech and we will do, well, I would beg to differ on that. In fact, I would go on the record as saying that, as always, Keir Starmer lied, and lied to very powerful, influential people. And it's as simple as that. Now, the other thing that we're going to address, just recently, Ofcom are now issuing an American company running its web, and people using the web in America. It does not operate or own any business in the UK. It's protected under American law, and Ofcom, the British Ofcom, are now trying to sue this American company for content on this website. And they have issued a fine saying that if you don't comply with our laws, then you will be prosecuted. Now, I beg to stand against Ofcom in the fact that this is an American company. This is an American website. It is used and developed solely in America. Yes, there might be some people who may use this in the UK. However, it is not subject to UK law. It is subject to American law. Ofcom have overreached its boundaries. It's going into international law, and there is no international agreement between America and the UK about this. They cannot summon and fine a company that is solely really in America. It's impossible to do that. There is things going backwards and forwards. The company is saying no, absolutely not, and it's a very dangerous precedence for a British thing such as Ofcom to go and challenge the American system, whether or not you like President Trump or not. The American system, and especially the amendments, very clearly, the First Amendment, that neither Congress nor government will impeach on the rights and freedoms of the people. And that the British Ofcom are trying to do exactly that. We are in a position where we have a weak-chinned, cowardly, spineless, lying, dictatorial coward in leading this country. Not only is he doing that, not only is he running this country into the ground, he is risking the potential for cooperation between America and many other countries. There have been several, including the Italy's Prime Minister, who has clearly stated Keir Starmer had nothing to do with the peace talks in the Middle East. Absolutely nothing to do with that. And yet Keir Starmer is there saying, oh, I did this, I did that, I did the other. He didn't. Keir Starmer is now risking the very foundations of the American-British allieddom and the special friendship that we have, and it's drawing us away from America. This has ramifications on a lot of things, including travel to America, trade with America, trade with other people. It is going to hit our economy severely if President Trump decides I'm going to place an embargo, or is going to raise duties, whatever it might be. We are going to suffer, especially those of us who enjoy going over to America. The citizens are going to be under more scrutiny, and we're going to be in a lot of trouble. The UK simply does not have the capability or means of standing up to anyone. In other news, Russia has now actually gone and hacked the British military forces and sold information on the dark web about our movements and sensitive information. We're talking about the ID cards. So if Russia can do that, and apparently the cyber defenses of the military were not up to standard, how is the ID card going to be any different? People are still going to, if they want to work illegally, they're going to pay cash off the books, which they can. The ID is nothing more than a system of control preventing you from being able to use your money, inhibit your freedoms, and everything else. Now, I have made it very clear that I vote reform. And here's where my other critical comments come in. I am slightly critical of Nigel Farage, and I do believe he will do a better job. I do believe he will do a lot of good things. I believe that he is living mentally in the minds of both Labour and Conservative, and they're doing everything they possibly can to discredit him. I don't think they will be able to do that. I think a lot of people want Nigel Farage in power. I will say this, and this is critical of Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage now has, and the Reform have, all the evidence they possibly can need to step up and say a vote of no confidence in Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, and to call for a general election. They have all that ready to go. My criticism of Nigel Farage, and I think he's doing really well, I think he's doing a good job, but I would ask him right now, when are you going to say, go for a vote of no confidence in Labour, vote of no confidence in Keir Starmer, and call for a general election? Let's get this party, this dictatorial Nazi Gestapo party, out of power, and Reform settled in and started to make changes, starting to get rid of all the nonsense that Labour have put in and get things sorted. That would be my question. That would be what I would ask right now. It needs to be done. I don't know why Nigel Farage is holding back on that, but hopefully the idea will come to him soon and he will enact that. But believe me, the way we're going at the moment, if Labour stays in for another how many years, we have a serious problem on our hands, and they will find more ways to restrict our freedoms. Whether or not you agree with me or not, that is simply the case. So I would say now, if you do vote Reform, if you do that, or if you want them out, start writing to your local MP. Say, we want a call of no confidence in the Labour Party and a general election, and move it forwards. We the people should be demanding that. These people in power work for us. They do not they represent us. They're not the representation of government in our society. They are society's representation in the ruling and in the governance and in other political pursuits such as international diplomacy, etc. They should be going by what the people say, not what they dictate to the people, and we need to remember that. That is how it was set up in the first place. So those are thoughts for today. Do them as you will. Have a great day, and let's hope that things change soon.